you a curious Homo sapien sapien erectus? Are you in need of some earhole fillage with some audio sound waves? Well, why don't you come on in here? Join us for the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. My name is Aubrey Cloutier.
And I am Drew Clark. I would like to acknowledge you for taking the time out of your day to listen to the podcast for Empathy and Imagination. Welcome back, everybody. We have taken a few weeks off, and now we are back. Welcome, Aubrey.
Welcome. Good to be back.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here. Gradient Studios 2.0, looking sharp, feeling good, feeling sexy.
Yeah, winter in California, huh?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Had a couple weeks off. Let's do a check-in.
Yeah, let's check in and maybe talk about our couple of weeks and stuff.
What happened? Well, you have more news than I do.
Okay, I'm going to talk first.
My news is, I'll go first.
You
Short.
go. Yeah, let's go.
Past couple weeks, well, I don't know. There was a bunch of internet drama.
You experienced
Always is.
Yeah.
I have not.
But
me
what affected
personally.
you?
Nothing.
Well, what do you care about, or what?
The Patreon deplatforming of Sargon. Sargon of Akkad.
I'm not familiar.
So, well, just what concerns me is the sort of thought policing. The wrong think, you know? If you don't share the consensus view, then you're seen as actually a bad person, like a morally reprehensible person.
Yeah.
So, differences in thought will not be brooked in the new age. And I actually talked about this last year at Thanksgiving. I was saying, the new age is the age of scandal. The age of snitching, right?
Telling
everything will
on your
be
neighbors.
watched and reported.
Yeah.
So it's a little concerning because
Yeah.
I don't want to live in a thought police world. That was our submarine torpedo launching system.
Yeah, we just launched a submarine torpedo.
So, I mean, that's maybe a broader topic we can get into.
But your check-in, I'm go ahead.
My check-in is just playing a lot of music, as usual. And have a show coming up this coming Thursday.
Which project?
Piano Fight in the City. This is Sausalito.
Sausalito at a
Yacht-
piano fight.
Yacht Rock.
Yeah.
Playing a Piano Fight on Taylor Street in San Francisco. It's our third gig there.
It's going well. They
and
like
our
you.
third gig total.
You're kind of their house band out of the gate.
Yeah. Every Thursday they have Yacht Rock Thursdays, and so instead of just having a DJ, we sometimes play, which is fun. It's good. It's not a lot of money yet, but it's great practice. The other band looking for a drummer. Still looking for drummers.
Fire 2.
It's hard to right. Fire in the hole. Hard to find drummers.
Yeah. I'd say they're the least available.
Seems like it because you
Like-
can always find a bassist who's a guitarist slumming as a bassist.
And you can always find a singer who slums as a guitarist.
Yeah,
That's all day, every day.
but yeah, keep 'em busy, working, getting back into reading.
Oh, back into reading. I didn't think you ever stopped.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd cut down, but now we're back.
Why'd you cut
So that
down?
feels good. Just being busy and not. You have to sort of cultivate the habit. You know.
Yeah.
So it's easy to not do it
Mhm.
if you're just surfing Wikipedia for 6 hours or something. But yeah, getting back into reading, which is good because it's like a recalibration of your mind. Resets like your focus meter. Because the internet, it's like your distraction index goes up.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything's so bite-sized and small little bits. and reading's like, oh shit, I got to read like 5 pages in a row. It's like a concentrated effort of reading.
Mhm.
So it's good. It's good practice.
It's like a little muscle.
Yeah, it totally is a muscle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually haven't been reading lately, but I want to hear more about how you're. I mean, we didn't do okay. We haven't podcasted for like 2 weeks. Why didn't you podcast for 2 weeks? I'll of course say why I
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, I don't podcast unless it's with you. And yeah, I don't have as good of excuse as you do, but just busy and doing shit. Life,
Cool.
life.
Heard. Well, I really enjoy hearing about your life, so thank you for what
Yeah.
I do get to hear. Cool.
I feel like there's not much going on in my life.
Well, you have things going on.
Yeah, maybe I don't test well. Put on the spot to answer.
Yeah.
I'm on like and then someone's like, "Oh, what about this?" Oh yeah, right. Been doing that.
Yeah.
So I can be kind of a private person too.
Yeah. But we're heavy on the surveillance right now.
That's true. There's no escape.
I'm like, is there anything you enjoy talking about, thinking about your potential location shift or not shift? Is there anything that sounds fun to talk about that, or it's sort of unknown and who knows?
It's unknown. I mean, I do like Boston. It has a lot of character. That's probably because it just has a lot of history, and I have a lot of history there. But it's almost like I lived in Boston I've lived in California as long as I've lived in Boston now, I think.
So you're a dual citizen at this point.
Yeah.
You're truly a Californian.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But there it is. And, the logistics of moving are always shitty to think about. And all the creative projects. So there's no easy... It's not an easy choice. So I guess that's on my mind. Just saving money and living a monkish existence in that way, financially. Excuse me. That enchilada is coming back to me.
Yeah, we gotta fill you up.
Yeah, that's it for now.
Okay, thank you.
That's my check-in. That was quiet.
That's really cool.
What happened
All
there?
right, that was a good check.
Oh, it's because this. Yeah, it's fine.
There it is. All right, you're checked in now. Okay, cool. Thanks, Aubrey. So I became a father over the past few weeks. That's why we haven't been podcasting. I made a little note out on the Inner Zone yesterday that we'd be, this morning that we'd be going live today. And why? It's because I am the proud father of this little person. Take a look for yourself,
Cool.
everybody. Look at this. I hear all the grandmothers going,
Oh.
"Oh my God!" This is Juniper Rose Clark. She's 8 pounds, 7 ounces, 20 inches long at birth. She was born at 10:08 a.m. on November 30th. Rebecca pushed for a total of 40 minutes and a very short labor of a total of 6 hours.
That's pretty short.
It's really short, especially for your first kid.
Huh.
Usually labor is like double that.
But she was like ready to come out, right?
Yep. So the story I can sort of tell, and she may come on and tell it better than me. We're here. It's very late. She wants to induce labor. She takes something called castor oil. Castor oil is supposed to cause diarrhea and childbirth at the same time. So that's interesting.
Huh.
And our doula was like, you should take
Just
4
drank it?
ounces. Yeah, you just drink it with water. And the doula was like, you should take 4 ounces and get this shit going. And Rebecca was like, yeah, I'll just do 2 teaspoons, as it says on the label. Start there. You know, kind of go up from there. Can't eat less. You know. So she does that, and about 2 a.m., she, like, totally blow out diarrhea. Or she feels like she has to poop. And she gets these little, they call them Braxton Hicks, which is basically like contractions that happen weeks before birth.
Hmm.
And she starts to time these Braxton Hicks at about 3 a.m. And she realizes that her contractions are 1.5 minutes apart, which is the end of the runway. That's like you're coming down the lane because you're supposed to go to the hospital when they're 5 minutes apart. So it's all of a sudden she feels like she has to poop, and her contractions are like a minute long, and the noise, the sound. It was like it was a ramp up of sound, and I was just there going like, holy shit, like, there's about to be a person coming out of this person. And you could tell, you could feel it in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Alma shows up, and she's like, it's time to go to the hospital. Okay, grab the bags that we had pre-packed. And we go down there, and they measure her, and she's fine. Blood, everything's good. Healthy mom, checked in, good to go.
Good.
Baby also, great heartbeat, good, everything, totally fine, super good. And they go to measure how dilated she is. And that's a thing, like, you go to the hospital when you're like, maybe your contractions are 5 minutes apart, you might be like 2 to 3 centimeters dilated. 10 is the full crown. 10 means you're ready to push.
Mm-hmm.
We show up, she's at an 8.
Ready to go.
Right there. And
good timing.
Yeah,
Must
really
be
good
a
timing.
musician.
Must be.
Good timing.
So she gets in there. She does. I'm not going to show you some of the other pictures I took, but she's a true warrior, hanging from the pole and squatting and shouting and getting on her hands and knees. And I pushed on her back the whole time.
Oh, so she was upright?
All over. She stood. She was in the shower. She was on her knees. She hung from a bar. It was like a monkey gym. She was just all over the place. In the shower, I threw a blanket over her, and we got the blanket warm, wet, and she just I just rubbed her back in the shower with a blanket over her. She just did that for a while. And she was like, I want the epidural. And they're like, honey, it's here. Like, you can, but you're going to slow labor down.
Right.
So she had a totally 100% natural childbirth. Oh, they did put fresh water right on her back. It's not even a drug. It's just a little pain block, and it's has to do with the pain of the back there. Because imagine a lady on their knees, and you push on the lower back. I'm pushing really hard. She's like, push harder, because she's like, she says it's the only thing that helped her get through the pain of the contractions. And so I did some of the pushing to get Juniper here, and I totally appreciate that. I'll take like 4% of the credit, I think. Rebecca made noises that I didn't think a human could make. I was so surprised by the dolphin.
Scary?
Scared the bejesus. The dolphin noises she made at certain times. Oof. It made me I wanted to punch the doctor. But I didn't. It wasn't the right thing. I could tell. I was just like, stop hurting her. Wait, she's doing it. It was such a tense thing.
Like pain sounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine a dolphin. It's just...
What do they sound like? Like squeaking? Oh, okay.
I can't even do it. I felt for her. And then
funny.
She was reaching down, and she could feel the head. Rebecca could feel the head before it was out. She was like, oh my God. And then, she gets in the zone, pushes some more. 40 minutes. Baby's out. Blam. Right on the chest. Breathing right away. Didn't do anything. Didn't have to smack her or snot out the nose. Nothing. Get her up there. She just instantly starts breathing air, which is the first time that happens right there.
Right.
And they clamp the umbilical cord, and they go, Daddy, you ready to do it? Freaking cut the thing. That is a weird feeling.
You just snip it?
They gave me scissors.
Oh, it's just
and
scissors.
It was hard to cut through. It was very strong.
Rusty scissors.
They gave me garden shears. I think some guy was picking up poop with them a while before. No, they were clean. And they were small. They were too small for the job. I had to cut like a few times to get through it. And I was like, just give me
Wow.
bigger scissors.
Yeah.
Because it was
like
so
lock
weird.
bolt cutters.
I'm like cutting through my wife and my child at the same time. And I'm like, oh. But it was great. I had to do it. Someone had to do it, and I did it. And everything's gone great. I mean, the baby and sleeping. Like, I'm 2 weeks in. She's 2 weeks old as of yesterday. And at this point, flight attendant training was harder than this. By far. By way far. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, well, I mean,
With
she's
less
still
sleep
really young. Yeah,
in the
less
flight,
sleep,
flight attendant training?
more stress.
Why was it so, like, why no sleep?
Because you're in Texas, and there's a culture of hanging out in the
Oh, so-
evening,
that's
and
right.
you're on the
culture.
bus together in the dark. In Texas. So this is in the winter, so it's like 30 degrees, and you're in ironed uniform, and you're smiling, and you have a lot of tests that you need to pass with a 90% or higher, or you're gone. Too bad. And many people
But
are
you're
gone
also
every day.
partying every night.
Yes, and every day, like 8 people would be tapped on the shoulder and left, and so it's
Huh.
a freaking stressful environment, and that was harder than the first 2 weeks of fatherhood so far. So far, it's like Rebecca feeds her; she eats and sleeps. That's most what happens.
Yeah.
I hold her when she's sad.
Yeah.
And I just change this. I just change her state, like Tony Robbins. I throw in a state change when she's upset.
Right.
I change her state. I go, pattern interruption. I'll
Right.
go outside and I'll sing to her, and it's like, what just happened?
Right.
So it's colder, but they're singing. What was I upset about? I don't know. We have 10 minutes of her just looking around, with me humming, and it's like that's what I'm figuring. I'm finding ways just to like alleviate the stress off of mom because there's not that much I can do.
Right.
Of course, I can clean the dishes and do the of course.
Right.
You
Take
know.
out the trash.
Yeah, that's all there. Take care of the animals, all those things.
Yeah.
Earn all of the money. That.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more to do, and I'm really it's fun being a good dad. I've already been called a good dad so far. I'm just letting that sink in, and it's such a good feeling I can't describe. Because I
kind
want
of
to
like
be
your
good at.
life
I want to get good
purpose.
at. Yeah, I want to get good at that.
Yeah.
Like not getting frustrated because I've already been frustrated. But I'm tired. Day 3 and it's 3 a.m. and
Right.
I'm just bouncing her. Just so she'll stop screaming because she won't drink anything, and she has a clean diaper, but there's yelling.
Mm-hmm.
There's just sometimes they yell. That's the only language they have is
try to
"Ah."
figure out what they want. And
Yeah.
maybe they don't want anything.
It's
just
right now. It's 4 things. The newborns,
crying
it's just
practice.
4 things. Is there poop on me? Am I hungry? Am I tired? Do I want to move my head? Those are
maybe it's
those are really
singing.
it.
Maybe she's singing practice.
I sing all the time to her. All
No,
the
I
time.
mean maybe that's what she's doing. She's crying. She's trying to
She's trying to get ready.
working out the pipes.
Oh man.
Takes after Rebecca.
Yeah, she has large hands for a baby. She's getting stronger, which is cool. And, like when she fights, like trying to get her clothes on her, change her diaper, and her kicking, she's like, feels good. It's like, my check-in is going like, it's like drugs, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like drugs, in a good way. I'm not going to be like hooked and ruin my life for my kid. A lot of people do that. They go
To manage the stress of
or even just
parenting.
to reason their way of living, like to justify the space they take up. They go, well, now my life is for my child only, and I need to give up my ambitions so that they,
Right.
she, can have more of an opportunity.
Right.
And I don't think that's a good idea.
Doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah.
It seems like you can have your own life and still be,
It's
checking all the boxes.
You sort of have to, You sort of have to be like,
yeah. Because if you're not happy as a father, then you're probably not as good of a father, right?
right.
So when your own life is fulfilled, then you don't have. There's less to worry about in your own in your own life.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. That leads to another part of my check-in, which is like I've started working out several days a week. Basically, since she was born, my injuries have sort of tapered off just enough that I can start.
Good.
So I've been injured, all these injuries from moving and then the business
Right.
and they're not gone, but they're tapered off enough that I went for a run yesterday. First time in a long time. That felt fucking awesome. I
Yeah.
slept way better.
Oh,
Everything was better, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it just makes everything better.
I started doing because I don't have the Bowflex anymore. There's no weights, so online, of course, there's awesome
You don't really need
body
Bowflex
weight
either.
training
Yeah.
exercises. So I'm just doing those in the kid room.
All you need is like
Boom.
some dumbbells.
Even
if
just,
that.
I don't even have anything. I just go in there with YouTube, and there's these things I can
Yeah.
show you, and they're like, you don't need anything.
Yeah.
Here's how to sweat and get stronger. And so you just watch this guy. It's timed intervals. I've done this.
Right,
Never
right.
done this stuff before. I'm sweating my brains out.
Yeah.
And it's like 15 minutes. Even it's like 15 minutes. Your heart's going. It's a good start. It's like, oh, you get that hit.
I was doing the SEAL workout, not the whole thing,
Ooh.
but parts of it, and it was like most of it was just shit you could do, no matter where you are, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Just stretching. All you need is like a wall and a floor. And then you can do all your stretches and all your push-ups and your cobra push-ups and crunches and cross crunches and all that stuff. But I find that the dumbbells are nice.
Yeah. I would like
Just
a couple
'cause you can
kettlebells.
you can do some different things,
I was thinking
strength
about
training. They say that just lifting weights like adds like 10 years to your life or something.
Mhm. Increases testosterone
Could be
in men, too.
barbell, could be dumbbells.
Mhm.
Just the act of lifting weights. It's like automatic life extension.
Mhm.
And yeah, if you think about it, we're still in the cave.
Very much so.
And we need to run around every once in a while. Feel good. Sleep better. Your libido is better. Your sleep is better. Dreams are better. Your brain works better. There's really no downside to exercise. The main thing is just hard to get going.
Yeah, it's hard to start.
It's the fucking main.
And
That's the
usually
hardest
you
thing.
burn out. You usually do it too hard at first. I've done that where I'm like, I want to run this many miles, spin this. It's like, whoa, no, dude, just do one.
You gotta underdo it
Just, underdo it a little. And then feel really good about it.
so that you're jazzed up for the next day.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I feel good. Shit. Not like, oh man, I totally beat the shit out. I gotta take a day off. So brutal.
I have all these sore
the
tendons
wrong way
all
to do it.
around the outside of my leg in the lower part because I run barefoot style, heel off
Oh,
the
right.
ground. So this whole thing is
Oh,
just
with the
all
Vibrams?
around it. And it was starting to hurt at the end. I probably went a mile and a half. It was all hills. And I was like, I could do more. But I'm like, don't do it.
Yeah. Don't push
do it.
yourself. It's like eating too. Don't eat until you're full,
Yeah.
because then you'll be too full,
Mhm.
because there's a delay.
Oh, yeah. Especially with sugary food. There's less of a delay with fatty
Never heard of
food.
it.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's my check-in.
Nice check-in.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, we have
Dad.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I don't want to be daddy. I think I want to start out with dad.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's more longevity, because then you don't have to transition
Right. That's what I was thinking.
after like a young adult.
Just
You
dad.
switch over to dad.
Mm-hmm. And I'm something about I don't. This
Papa,
doesn't
yeah.
exactly prescribe me, but there's something about efficiency of speech that I enjoy, and I think instilling that in my kid is interesting.
Huh.
So that's like the start of that. That's like level
Well,
one.
she's female,
Yeah.
so good luck.
Well, there's all.
You know how females like to prattle on
I can
endlessly.
only affect very little.
kidding.
Honestly, her friends from when she's like 7 to 15 are going to do way more than I do
Right.
from 0 to 7.
Right.
So
You just lay the foundation. She
That's
might
it.
build a weird ass house on top of it.
weird. Might be
Yeah.
like 1 inch around and 50 stories tall.
Might be like the what's it, Winchester Mansion.
Hope not. But, every parent wants to feel good about their attempt at that. But I know now that, honestly, as long as she's comfortable, safe, and, loved,
Yeah.
there's not much else.
It seems like you have to let go a lot of
Oh, yeah.
that stuff.
Ideologies.
Oh, we're gonna, this much TV, this much screen time, this much that, and she's gonna. We're not gonna swear into it. It's like you can only the shields can only be up for so long,
I don't.
but eventually
Yeah.
the shields are gonna go out, and you're gonna be in the neutral zone. So I'm really trying hard to extend this metaphor. So eventually, the USS Juniper, the shields will go down because they always break. And there's nothing you can do about it because you're back in Starfleet in San Francisco, headquarters, Starfleet.
Yep. Can't help her from there.
You can Skype with her, give her advice, but
I sort of expect that when she's somewhere between the ages of 18 and 24, that they're probably, maybe even earlier,
crazy crap.
we probably will have many disagreements and there will be anger. I mean, I haven't seen a family that doesn't have that period.
It's rare.
It's really
And it's
rare.
usually one parent. Like they'll get along well with one parent,
Or
but then
okay with one parent.
okay with
and
one,
really
and
bad
then
with
really
the other.
bad with the other.
Yeah. Then the
And
child
they're also insane. I mean, you're basically insane from like 14 to
24.
Yeah, 18, 19.
Ah, it was crazy.
I mean, it's like
I didn't make any sense.
I mean, it's barely an exaggeration, but it's like being literally insane. Like pissed off all the time, and your hormones are running wild, and there's all this shit you can't control, and you're like, yeah, what do I do? It's gonna be wild. See how you deal with that. It's gonna be interesting.
I'd like to think that we're gonna do good.
Yeah.
And you know what?
I think it will do great.
It's gonna be fine. It'll be fine, actually.
I mean, is it usually that daughters and moms have a little bit more friction than daughters and dads? I don't know.
For a period, and there's a big crossover. Also, sons and dads. Usually, there's
A little bit of a
a rift
tug
for
of war,
about a
yeah.
decade.
Yeah.
Also, sons and moms. Like
I guess
not
it's all
happy.
random. It's all kind of
I was not happy with my mom
Variable.
for like a decade, and then I just cooled my jets, basically.
When did it start? Like 14.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is 10. Maybe it is 14 to 24. Like a whole decade of
Yeah.
insanity.
Yeah, it was like 14 to 24. Once I was like 25, I was like, she's doing her best. Fuck.
Yeah. Nobody knows. There's no manual.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Everyone thinks that. Oh well, my parents. They were ready. They had. It's like no one's ready.
Yeah.
No one's
Well,
really.
yeah, I'm
no
not
one has
ready.
it figured out. That's the whole. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. And some of the most magical people in our culture come from very, very difficult childhoods.
Yeah. Most of the. There's all kinds of weird stats on that. Like. Firstborn. Tend to have higher IQs in siblings.
Really?
And high IQ doesn't necessarily correlate to achievement. Like there's one study.
That's weird,
There's
'cause
all
usually
these
it
all these
does.
people that had high IQs. Some were wealthy and successful, and some weren't. But then out of that same group, the people who who didn't make the cutoff for IQ, there was actually 2 Nobel Prize winners. So none of the smartest people won by IQ won Nobel Prizes. It was the sort of average IQ. So nature works in mysterious ways, and I don't know. Maybe there's a recipe for happiness. Happiness.
Yeah, there totally is. It's something like, it's not so simple as follow your dreams, but create dreams and vanquish your demons. And do good by yourself and your family and your community. and exercise your body, mind, and spirit, something like that.
Yeah, sleep, diet, exercise. I think those are all important. But I almost think happiness is a skill that you can learn. Because, it's like contentment. You don't have to be super, like, happy-go-lucky, like jolly all the time. You can be calm and relaxed and happy.
Very much so. I mean, happiness isn't necessarily depicted by bright, shiny things.
Right, smiles and, always smiling and laughing. It's kind of like,
Happiness can be totally quiet.
yeah, just like contentment. I don't have any unmet needs. I don't have, all my desires are under control. I'm not bored. So I think you can learn happiness. I do think it's a skill that's teachable.
Do you think like Tony Robbins can teach you happiness?
Don't know. I think what I like about Tony Robbins is it's all about like personal responsibility. You have to you have to own your own, choices and stuff. I actually haven't read much Tony Robbins, but you have.
Listen to a lot of the
Unlimited
many audiobooks and
Power
stuff.
and
Oh yeah,
that was his first one, wasn't
it was like he had like the 20 day challenge where you listen to I did that whole thing.
What was the 20-day challenge?
It's like you have to write stuff down, and there's like homework, and you have to think about stuff, and it's like very much self-help,
Yeah.
textbook.
Like,
But he recorded it in like the 90s or late 80s or something. This is really old when I got it. It was super helpful.
cool.
And then I've seen a bunch of other videos of him doing his work, and I've read like certain sections of things that he's done, and a little bit about him from the people. And I've seen the Netflix documentary.
You saw
too.
that?
Yeah.
I Am Not Your Guru. It's great.
Yeah.
So I think it can be happiness can be learned. I think there's a lot of, the golden age is all about, we just look at this idea, look at this problem in a new way, and suddenly it opens up a whole world of possibilities. So I think we're going to be seeing more of that. Sort of
Yeah,
thinking.
the golden age. I get that. What's happening?
Where it's just like looking at things in a new way becomes, world changing.
Not much out there has changed.
Yeah, it's just so much can change just by perspective, I mean, that's one could argue that's the way everything has changed. Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
how are you? I think I heard my cue.
Good. How are you?
Good. I hope I'm not behind. I feel like every time I call I'm behind.
Well, we're just really happy to have you.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm very happy.
So thanks for joining us.
Are you guys-
Why don't you excuse me? Would you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hi, I'm Claire. I'm a person, I'm a human, and I'm a big fan of the podcast for Empathy and Imagination.
We were talking about happiness, and I was postulating that happiness can be learned as a skill.
Yes, and that totally interests me. I also believe that it is something that can be learned. I think in some senses, it's like some form of happiness are just automatic, like we are instinctual. But I think, like, getting enough sleep, feeling good, eating, drinking, like that's all stuff we're born. We're born, when that happens, we feel happy. But I think, just the way we feel about ourselves, our thoughts, I think it's all something we can learn. And I think it's important. I wish they taught it in school.
Yeah, happiness class.
That's one of the other necessary classes, like
Yeah.
checking account, like finance.
we had a meditation retreat a couple weeks ago, and it was really great because we went over his whole philosophy. I have it all in a notebook, and it was just really interesting. I should like share it with. I took pictures of it and scanned it. It's just really interesting.
What prompted you to want to go to a meditation group once a week?
Well, I was going through a bad breakup, which the breakup wasn't bad, but at one point we had these cats, and I left, and and I had really bad allergies. I was getting like asthma-like symptoms, and I was on the route to getting asthma, so I really couldn't keep the cats. But then my ex wanted to get rid of the cats because his new girlfriend had a cat with feline leukemia, and it wouldn't be safe for the cats. So basically, I spent So I spent a couple weeks kind of like hankered me into helping him find a home for the cats, and I like loved the cats, and I was already sad that like these were my pets that I love, but I mean they were causing me such distress, and within a week of like leaving, my like asthma symptoms, I've never had an asthma symptom since. So I found homes for the cats, but like the process was just one of those things where it's like you wouldn't think finding homes for your pets would be so, it just hurt me in such a big way. And I did find a home for my pet, for each cat, and I know the people, so I actually see one of the cats on a regular basis, and the other one I just keep in contact with. So it turned out to be a good thing. But I was just like, wow, like I feel like I'm a wreck. And I remember my interactions with like other people, like just that whole time I was just like, I'm just not myself, and I feel like I can't even relate to other people. It's kind of like when you're in a bad place and talking to people with no help, and they don't even get you and you don't get them. So I'm like, I need to do something about this. And I had one day where I love seeing meteors, and I hope I see a meteor when I'm in California in a week, because I haven't seen any meteors this year, which is very disappointing. But I saw a meteor just as I was driving home, and I just like loved that. And for some reason, I was just like, I went home, went online, and I was like, I'm going to do something to make myself feel better. That's something that I can do right away. It's not going to cost me a lot of money. It's not like a get healthy quick like thing. So I was looking things up, and I learned about like loving kindness meditation. And I started going to some classes that were in walking distance to my house, and I went to his class, and it was really great. I felt like the first day I was there, I was like, I totally understood everything. But then the next week, he didn't show up for class, and like for a couple weeks, he didn't show up for class. So class was canceled, and I was like, I don't know. So I started going to other classes, and I kept meditating. And then like a year and a half later, I was like, I really want to find out whatever happened to that other class. So I went back to that class, and it turned out that was when he was diagnosed with the second round of cancer, and I had just seen him like a week before that happened. And he told me that he remembered me, and that, you know, like this class was kind of like, this was the class that was with him throughout his cancer treatment. And I just kind of then became part of this, like, this is like a Sunday night, like, family thing that we do. And one of the things I feel like I learned about happiness, I mean, there's so much, but one of them was this idea that there's a thing called dukkha, and no Sanskrit word is ever like, it's never really, definition in English never really does a good job. But his definition for dukkha, because a lot of people call it unsatisfaction, but his
Dukkha?
definition, it's I think it's D-U-K-H-A, and it's in Sanskrit, so it's probably, you can maybe like dukkha, Buddhism, but his definition is, it's the habit, the habitual habit, like the habit of our brains to always be unsatisfied. And it's just that we as people, and maybe it's a survival thing, you know, if you were a caveman or a Neanderthal, it's probably pretty hard to survive.
Always like to ask
So
that
you're
question.
always, yeah. It's just kind of like we're always even if we achieve what we want to achieve, we always, our brain just, like, by habit, it's like, okay, well, I did that, now I'm unsatisfied with this. And it's basically, I feel like meditation is a way of being conscious of that and learning to break that habit. And I feel like a lot of what I'm doing through meditation is breaking habits and choosing how I want to feel. And like and just being really clear about like what I want. One of his questions, he's like always ask good questions. It's like, what do I want? How do I feel? Like, what do I trust? What do I value? What do I love? What's happening? What's possible? And what's helpful? And I feel like those questions are now always running through my brain, and it really does help. I mean, I do definitely get unhappy, but I feel like I have like tools now to deal with it and to get back to a state of happiness. So, I don't know. I find meditation, that's my happiness.
Is it like mantras, these questions?
No, I guess you could do them that way. Like, I know this guy, Ram Dass, who was, he
This
renamed
guy.
himself. Yeah. This guy, yeah. Which is funny. I found out Ram Dass is actually a term in Kundalini Yoga. It's a term, and it's just a healing term. But his mantra is, I am loving awareness.
Right. If you
that's
have
a mantra. I've
a
done-
mantra and you have a phrase that you try to, if you're actively trying to repeat it constantly, it's very hard to start thinking about other shit. Or if you
Yeah, I
if you
find-
notice yourself thinking about other things, then you come back to, it totally keeps you in the moment, one, and it keeps your mind from going to its into its old habitual channels. You know, because it's all neuron ditches that the water of thoughts wants to flow through, right? So if you create deeper trenches, then the water will tend to flow through those.
Yeah, exactly. I think meditation, like, I find mantras helpful. Some people don't. Some people find, like, scanning their body. There's all these techniques. And the techniques are just, like, sometimes you're not meditating while you're doing it. Like, the mantra actually is not important. You can just say something silly. You could just, it's just kind of getting yourself, it's like whatever works for you. So I find mantras helpful.
Claire, when I
Don't
was
like body scanning.
Claire, when I was
Uh-huh.
a flight attendant, I would countless hotels, countless treadmills, just pounding mile after mile. And I had a mantra that I told myself. I just said,
What was it?
healthy, fit, and strong.
That's awesome.
I'll go, I'm healthy.
Did it help?
I'm fit, yeah. It did. It just pulled me back to the moment. I experienced why I was feeling the pain. Why am I hurting? This is why. Because I'm healthy, fit, and strong. And I would do this.
That's awesome.
I did it for years, actually. I don't know how many miles I said that to myself. It was a good amount.
It's good. There's
Yeah, that's
does
awesome.
seem to be evidence that things like that, for whatever reason, but it could be cognitive bias, but they seem to actually help.
A little bit.
Affirmations, stuff like that.
Maybe it's 10%.
So one good mantra that I've been trying to use is, I love myself,
Aw. I like that.
because
I really like that.
it's first of all, everyone knows what love feels like, and most of us do. Unfortunately, some people don't know what that's like, but so it's a very powerful emotion to associate with a mantra. And whether or not you believe it at first, I think it's still effective. So you can be completely skeptical about the mantra, and it still works. Works as in keeps your mind focused on the present moment.
Yeah.
And that seems to be
Well,
the key
Aubrey,
to
I-
happiness, is like having no desire, almost like an absence of everything, right? You have no desires, you have no needs that are unmet, because all suffering is desire, right? Lack of desire is suffering. So said
Yeah.
Shakyamuni.
Yeah, and and my teacher was saying, because Buddhism, they say attachment is suffering, which is like desire.
That's right.
But one of my teachers was saying that. Well, my teacher, he was saying that attachment to dukkha, or like attachment to the habitual need to always be dissatisfied, like he thinks that's like the number one cause of suffering. Like we're always comparing ourselves. We always want more, and that I found that really helpful.
Twitter's a suffering machine.
Yeah. Oh, I never did Twitter because I feel like I just read it and I'm like, ugh. I feel like I need a shower. Like,
Yeah,
it's not helpful.
It's pretty awful, but it's pretty awesome in another respect. I mean, the fact that that Kanye West can like maybe respond to something that I said in a very direct way is pretty awesome. And the fact that you can now, well, I mean, eventually it'll be like you can instantaneously communicate with anyone on the planet, and they may respond to you, and it might be the leader of a country, or your hero, or your enemy. So in that sense,
I never
it's
thought
pretty like powerful and world changing. In the other sense, it is just a complete cesspit of stuff, you know.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I've never done Twitter, but I could see that being cool. I talked to like an artist that I really liked, or two artists that I really liked over Instagram, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Did they respond back to you?
Yeah, no, there's one where he's actually looked at my website and stuff. It's been pretty cool, and I'm gonna buy one of his books. So I actually gave him money from a patron. I gave him like $30 to like help make the book. So my name is in it. So it's kind of nice.
Nice.
And, yeah, there was a National Geographic photographer that and it was like days. The only reason I I sent them something. I complimented them on their like work because I was like having a bad day. Speaking of happiness, having a bad day with each of these times, and I saw their work, and I was like, I'm having such a shitty day that I'm gonna. And this art is something that is important to me, and I like. I'm just gonna tell them like how important their art is to me, and that in some selfish way that makes me feel better. And so I did, and each time they responded to me, being like, thank you. And one was a National Geographic photographer. Every year, one of his pictures is either the number one, it's like Time Life picture of the year, or number 2. He does like really powerful portraits. So it's pretty cool.
Right on,
yeah.
good job.
And speaking of, I told Aubrey this, but have you guys, I did float this week where I went in a sensory deprivation cave.
Ooh, tell us about that.
Floated in like Epsom salt water. It was pretty cool. It was weird. It was cool. And I don't know. I would recommend everyone should try it once.
I really want to.
I don't know if I got. Yeah, I think I really did feel very good the next day, and I also because when I meditate, I don't smoke or drink or anything like that. It's just like I want to use my brain. But like the float thing, so I went in. I was like, I think the float thing would actually be better if you were like doing shrooms or smoking weed or something.
Yeah, that's the story. The edible marijuana is the
Yeah.
best thing.
Really? I kind of regret not doing anything.
What's like the
But I was just like, I'm a Go on.
what's like the whole experience? Is it like in a warehouse? Is it like a Best Western? What was the sort of because float is a chain, right? Don't they have multiple?
I think that's like the term that people use. So it sounds better than.
So it's not like a chain of.
Did you have like the Holistic Saline Center?
Yeah. I think it's there's only one in Boston, and it's by these like two, like a couple that live like near me. But I think the term float is used for a lot of different places. And basically, it was just kind of like it was right across from the Aubrey, you went to Magoons. It's right across from Magoons. It's in like just like a shop,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and you go in. You take off your shoes, and they give you slippers, and then you get a room to yourself that has a shower and like a place to like change, and like, but it's just like you're the only person in the room, so it's all open.
Right.
And then you
It's
get
really
into
nice.
like this thing that looks like a giant washing machine. They had other options that
Huh.
had stars, but I was like, that were like bigger and you could stand up in them, but they were like reserved. I was like, I just really want to do this, and I thought it would be really cool to just have it complete darkness. So like you get into this tank, and the water's like warm, but it's not like super warm. It's not hot because they don't want you to be hot and they don't want you to be cold. I would have preferred the water a little hot, but anyhow, like then you're like floating, and I gotta like at one point I went out. You can open the door because like if you think about it, you can get a little claustrophobic because you can't see the walls, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
So there's a button in case there's an emergency, but like I couldn't see where the button was, so I don't know how that would help. And
I need a button to find my
there's
button.
like and there was like a styrofoam, like I got a styrofoam little floaty thing after a few minutes, because like my neck, just like it was like holding up my neck. I felt like my head was super heavy, and that wasn't really relaxing. But it was really relaxing. It was really interesting. I stayed in the whole 90 minutes. It was cool.
And earplugs, no sound. You didn't choose for any kind of
Yeah.
binaural beats or anything.
Yeah, it was earplugs. No, it was all earplugs. And
It's
I do like
saltwater,
binaural
right?
beats. Yeah, because you don't want to get it in your ears. It's like pounds and pounds of Epsom salt. And my skin felt really good. And I felt like I did move around a lot, but it's like you can kind of stretch in different ways that you like while you're floating in water that you can't when you're on land. So I was like, oh.
Returning
I felt like
to
it was like a yoga session. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sounds
Neat. And then I went and got a beer. Then I got a beer afterwards. I went for a walk. I was relaxed but really jazzed up afterwards.
Huh.
So,
What does the Epsom salt do? What is that? What's the purpose of it?
it makes you float. That's the main thing.
Oh, I
is
see.
that it makes the water dense, kind of like, and it has like magnesium and stuff that supposedly like, I don't know how it gets maybe into your skin and relieves muscle tension. But I think the main thing is that it helps you float. But I could see like practices like that. Like I think, like I don't know, like when Drew was talking about his mantra and exercising, I think it's really important to have like routines you have in your life.
I think,
Order and
that
chaos.
take time.
I think we are. Like I think addiction is a part of life, and addiction is basically habits. And if you were to
Yeah.
strip human life down to its essence, it's just habits. Everything is a habit.
Yeah.
And
I think
the
you
good
know,
news
like,
is that you can reprogram them. Reprogram all your habits. Some are
Pretty
very
easy.
old and harder to reprogram, but sometimes you can just replace a habit with another habit, and that makes it easier than just trying to get rid of one. You know?
Wait.
yeah, because it's like you can have a healthy habit.
Oh yeah.
I think trying to walk.
I mean, think about
like,
brushing your teeth. It's like that's a habit almost everyone has.
Pretty healthy habit.
And I know like in
It's
behavioral science,
associated. Like you have your whole bathroom routine.
Yeah.
So you have all these things that are associated habits.
Usually start with farting,
There you go.
and then
That's how you open the door.
I usually trim my eyebrows, and then my butt, and then I brush my teeth.
yeah, you're conditioned. Like those, like when you start trimming your eyebrows, you're like, oh, like in your brain, you've associated that with brushing your teeth, and you're like, time to brush my teeth. Like I have to go to the bathroom every time I put my key in the door. like, I'm home. I can go to the bathroom. And it's like, if my key is like stuck, I'm like, God damn it, I gotta go to the bathroom. But like if I check in before, I don't have to.
That's how you life hack.
But that's like,
That's how you life hack having
no,
to
but
poop. Is that
That's
you,
good.
Well, that's what
you
we-
imagine that you have an extra 10 minutes. So instead of the front door lock, you're like,
Well-
oh yeah, there's that lock on my room too. So once I get to that lock, oh, it's not this lock.
well, it's like so I work with like kids who are diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. So like a lot of times we'll try to, you know, like, so it's like they'll do something that's really hard and they don't want to do, and we will give them a reward, like it's their favorite toy or like their favorite food, and we'll click. And after a while, it's like, okay, like I'm gonna do this task because it's conditioned with like every time I do this task, something good happens. And over a while, we fade out like the toy or the food, but we keep on using the click. And the click, and the, you know, you use it with dogs too. The click, you give this click while you're giving the treat. It's like a signal that like click becomes a good sound. So it's like conditioned. So in life we do this all the time. You know, like you even just, you know, like you see like a coffee, or like a sign for coffee, and you're like, oh, I really want a cup of coffee. But I mean, for me, the big one is like I put my key in the door and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, I think it's all habits.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good news. Okay. Oh yeah. So happiness solved. Okay. Have we
Well,
figured
are
out
you
happiness?
guys doing stuff
figured it
to
out.
like? Okay, but are you guys doing anything to make yourself? Well, Aubrey, you have your mantra. When are you saying your mantra?
Well, the trick is to constantly be saying it. So that way, you know, sometimes you can't. Obviously, right now I'm not saying words. But if you try to do it all the time, then you'll be more aware of when you're not doing it. And you'll be like, oh, isn't that cute? My mind is wandering. Let me get back to my mantra.
That sounds like pretty immersion. That sounds really intense. Kind of.
It is, and it's very hard. It's very difficult to just have something in your brain all the time.
Trying to hold one thing and stuff.
But you can look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say it. And if you do it
Well-
right, what you see is what other people see in your eyes when you're looking at the one you see. So if you can have that in your eyes when you're looking at yourself, that's pretty good.
Good one. Great. That's some empathy right there. And imagination. Wow.
So
okay.
float. Is that all we have on float? Any more info there?
I thought it. Like I would rather a really good massage than doing float. Like if I had to choose, like you can do float or like something like massage or something for the rest of your life. I would choose massage. But it was definitely a cool experience, and I'd probably do it on a substance next time.
Yeah, it seems I'm a little frightened by it being on a substance with no sensory input.
I think, well, that's
It's a
the
little
thing
bit
is-
terrifying.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good because that's what you feel when you do it.
Probably wouldn't be terrifying. Just the prospect of it being bad scares me. Yeah.
Well, the one
You
thing
know-
you can always, I think you just like you can get out.
No,
Right,
not out of
right,
your
right.
mind,
You
though.
can't get out of your mind.
So if you're taking, like, mushrooms, then you're just stuck. I would stay in the tank. I mean, I would do mushrooms in the tank, but honestly, I hear that edible marijuana is even better than mushrooms.
Because it's a body high.
It somehow works with the environment better.
Probably build a tank.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. I mean, with your hot tub knowledge.
Plywood.
Right.
Some slamming noises you can hear from our neighbors.
What if float, sensory deprivation, it relaxes you, right?
Yeah.
What if
And I think
What
it's like
have you heard of
because
Final
you're-
Corpse stress-inducing chamber? It's called Sync. And so you're weighted
Okay.
down. You can breathe just enough. You have a little scuba thing. You have just enough oxygen that you can breathe. But you're constantly sinking. And you're wearing headphones. And there's this like screeching sound that slowly gets louder as you're sinking. And the water pressure. So by the time you get to the bottom, you basically have a psychotic break with reality. And this is brought to you by Final Corp.
Yeah, cool.
This is called Sync, and it's their stress
Stress
amplification chamber.
Yeah.
So a little plug for Final
I like
Corp
it.
there.
I like it a lot.
But what were you gonna
Well,
say? You had
I
something
think-
else?
No, I think one of the Jerry Seinfeld and other people, I think David Lynch, they do transcendental meditation, TM, which I think like you have to pay for to learn their mantra, which I think is bullshit. But Jerry Seinfeld like talked about what it is, and basically you have a mantra, and 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon you meditate. You just like find the time and you meditate. And Jerry Seinfeld only did it in the afternoon for years because he's like, I'd rather just like sleep for 20 more minutes. But he says then after Seinfeld, he decided to start doing it in the morning. And he's like, if I had done it in the morning and in the afternoon, Seinfeld, the show, would have like gone on for like 10 more years. But I think that's really cool to have like two times of the day where you're like, I need 20 minutes to meditate, and you have a mantra. And I feel like instead of paying TM, just like come up with your own mantra. You guys have good you guys both have great mantras. And I haven't gotten to the point. I feel like my job right now, I have no breaks, so I have very little control over what I do. But I think it would be great to find 2 times of the day where it's like 20 minutes I meditate. I think that would be a good thing. I wish you guys both happiness, and I hope. And congratulations on being a dad. I was very interested hearing your check-in and hearing you talk about being a dad. I think it's so exciting, and I don't know. I'm just very happy for you. And
Thank you so much, and we're so looking forward to have you here to meet the baby in 10 or 11 days.
yeah, cool, awesome. I'll make her some onesies, maybe some animal onesies, maybe some platonic form onesies.
Well,
We'll see.
I'm just so grateful for anything that you'd like to share with us. Oh, yeah,
Okay, cool.
This is
Awesome.
Claire's part. There's your plug.
Okay.
You were just plugged ClaireO'ConnorArt.com.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you guys go because I feel like I'm monopolizing your time. This is very hard talking on the phone because I don't get to see your faces.
Yeah, well,
But
if only we had a few more
That's
wires, you maybe do a FaceTime thing and then film it, or just need a few more wires. But thank you for calling.
yeah, because
We can do Facebook Messenger next time. That would work.
I don't get to see your
We could
faces,
point the
so it's like
camera
when you
at
have
her,
a
or she
conversation,
could- or put her
hard
at this.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, can we try it real quick?
We can try it right now.
Let's try it real quick. I mean, just because
Okay,
is that
what do I
okay?
do?
Just
Well,
stand
we're gonna
by.
hang up and then we'll call you right back.
Okay. You can point. I can
Okay,
point it at my
right.
screen here, or do you want to point this at it, or at this?
Well, we could have her on the wide shot. Oh, my internet just went out.
We're still good here. So these technical issues are interesting, and they can bring you certain types of entertainment as follows. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to a level of cuteness that you are not ready for. Observe. This new playing here, we have this little tail. then here we go. Cuteness abounds. This is my lovely daughter. And if you listen closely, you can hear the neighbor upstairs having an argument.
Whoops.
Oh, that's good.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Sure.
She should be able to see us, though. Oh, I get you. Does that work?
Yeah, I can see you guys.
But I want the audience to be able to see her.
Yeah. Oh, she was right there.
She was right here.
I don't care if they could see me. I just like seeing your faces. It's easier to have a conversation
But
that
the
way.
audience wants to see you. Here. Can you put her here?
Yeah, let me turn.
We're just checking it out. So I'll also take a moment to recognize, not like in a sponsorship way, but in an acknowledgement way, I like to call it what's on the table. And what's on the table here today is a couple of fine cannabis products. Gelato 45 and Banana OG, paired with Sierra Nevada's Celebration Fresh Hop IPA. It's a seasonal one. Golly, is it tasty. And, yeah, that's what's on the table.
Yeah, that works. But just the audience can't see you.
I don't care. I just like I can see your faces, so it's easier to have a conversation.
Riddle me this.
But
Easier to have staring contests.
I know. Well, I just feel like when I'm on the phone, I don't get to see your face, so it's like not as much of a back and forth. But I will drink. Yeah.
Simul-sip.
All right, we can see your. Whoa, careful.
My chair just fell. Well, I'll let you guys go because I just talk up a lot of your time.
Well, hold on. We just got you live here. The audience can see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's see some of your.
Oh, okay.
Let's see some of your art.
Yeah. Put up
Okay,
some art.
all right.
Everyone can see you at home.
Okay. All right. So I don't know what you guys can see. This is like one wall of art right here.
Now, what kind of art is that?
Well, I don't know. They're mainly prints. One of them is your drawing, Aubrey. This is just like kind of like stuff that like ideas I have. They're like wood block prints mainly, sometimes vinyl. Got some art. You can go look at some other art.
So they're like you cut into a block of wood or vinyl.
Yeah, actually I have.
Do you use lasers ever?
I guess I could, but I actually like the carving process the best. I don't really like the printing process, but like I don't know if you guys can see that's one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That's cool.
And that's like the pink color in back, and like the one it's this one up here.
Oh yeah. That's a good little T-shirt, little onesie.
That'd be cool.
It'd be kind of a big onesie. Yeah, I got some. I got
She's
another.
drinking a lot of
this is
milk.
something- This is something I etched. This is like metal, so this was like acid
Oh,
used.
cool.
So I can etch that.
You used
And they're like
acid.
cardamom. Yep.
It's pretty good art for having done acid.
Yeah,
with
I
it.
would say.
I think that the plate did acid. I didn't really do acid.
Changed his life forever, man.
This is like a little collage I did, like origami and like an old little student picture thing that I found.
Do you have any
Oh,
favorites?
the thing that I etched.
Do you have any favorite pieces of art? Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Classic.
I don't know.
Classic
Let me-
style.
Yeah, and then this up here is like, I bought this for 25 cents in Hingham. It's from 1923. It's it was just like a yard sale. Somebody must have some woman must have drawn that,
That's cool.
and I just like try to imagine her life. Her name is like Mabel G. It's from 1923,
Mabel G.
and I don't know if she did it as a hobby or if she like did costumes for plays, but it was pretty cool.
I have a strange request.
Yes.
May I please request that you take us outside where you are and show us like what it
Sure.
looks like?
Cool. Definitely.
I like the name Mabel.
It'll be.
Mabel's a cool. name.
M-A-B-E-L.
Yeah. Or would you do M-A-B-Y-L?
That's a good name.
Too progressive
That's too
for me.
progressive. I like M-A-B-E-L also.
M-A-B-E-L.
Yeah.
But Juniper's pretty cool.
Yeah, Juniper's cool.
I do have a picture. I went by Juniper Street in Portland, Maine. I took a picture of it.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so it's kind of dark.
So thoughtful.
So I don't know if you guys can see anything. But can you guys see anything?
It's dark out there a little bit. I'm just curious. I'm like, what? I'm always curious, like, what it looks like outside.
Okay. I'll walk to Mass Ave. We'll walk together.
Okay.
I hope our
should be around the
connection
corner.
holds.
Do you have like a headlight on that thing?
I wonder if I do. Maybe if
probably
I
do.
turn it around.
Your flashlight?
Probably if I turn. Hold on.
Standing
I'll
by.
turn. I'll
Jeez.
turn.
In Final Corp. Ladies and gentlemen,
Hold on.
Final Corp. You can have
I'm gonna turn it around.
pain increasing
please.
headphones, or the Mister, or some other terrible shit. All right. No, other way around.
Okay.
Back.
Can you guys see anything?
Yeah.
Wait, audience, can you see stuff? See, the audience is responding now with some instant messages here. It says, the art is really cool, kind of dark. Oh, okay, now we can sort of see hearts. Yeah, okay. Everyone's into it.
No snow. People are surprised there's no
There's
snow.
no snow. Okay, but that's kind of what it looks like out there.
Oh, farther from the internet.
Uh-oh. Where's the beer? Are you walking to beer?
Are you walking
No,
to get beer?
but I could.
Oh, there goes the
I
Wi-Fi. Out of
already
range.
got it.
Out of range of the Wi-Fi.
Oh, there it was. Just magical,
Yeah.
you know? Holy cow.
You need to walk back to the Wi-Fi zone.
But we saw some outside.
Successful
Hey,
test.
that was fantastic. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Successful test.
Hey, would you pick up that little bag right there and notice that it has a big cut in it?
Yeah.
Hey, can you close it back up, do you think?
The zip part?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Hey. Oh,
Cool.
there we go. She's back. There it is.
Huh.
That's about it. That's where I live.
Aren't there a lot of bunnies on Mass Ave?
There are tons of bunnies. A lot of bunnies.
So that's Mass Ave.
Massachusetts Avenue.
So that's a pretty main street.
Look at those shutters,
And
huh?
then-
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, colonial
There's
style, huh?
This is like in Massachusetts.
It's so quiet. It seems very quiet.
Yeah, which dwelling of those is yours?
I'm coming to it. I will show you. This is like a little dinky road that's like kind of hidden
Just-
from like a very busy main street.
Don't go in through the front door with your key, because that otherwise you'll have to poop.
I left the door open so I wouldn't have to
Okay.
use the key. Yeah, this is my little dead end, and there's no lights on at my house, but this is my house. I'm on the second floor.
Wow. Is it 3 floors?
Yeah, there's an attic. My roommates live in the attic. So,
Who's on the
So
first
we have
floor?
a guy who lives on the first floor.
Cool.
Going in the door.
Roommates are in the attic?
Their bedroom and everything is in the attic. Yeah. But we shared the rest of the apartment.
Scary.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's not scary. Cool.
This is my room. My bed's not made. Whoop, there's you guys.
Whoa.
Empathy and
We're
imagination.
hyperdimensional right now.
Meta.
Meta
This is
hyperdimensional.
so weird.
Yeah, because it's actually.
Hey, Aubrey. Hey, Aubrey.
Hey,
Hey,
Drew.
Drew. Hey, Aubrey. Hi. Hey, this is Aubrey. Hi, this is Aubrey.
Drew, though.
Yeah.
Whoa. Can you see your room?
Any
in the
any
image?
any more at?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Wait,
Some
hold on.
Wow.
If you zoom in on the image there, can you see your room as you look at the screen?
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There's infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's super cool. It's very meta. I don't really even understand what meta is, but I feel like this is the time when you can use it appropriately.
Yes.
Well, excellent.
That's my cupcake lamp.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's cool.
Like
Let's get a
that.
close up on that one.
Yeah.
Although I think I'm gonna redo it with coffee filters. It's like, and I made this while watching the Jersey Shore. Someone else was watching the Jersey Shore, but I was in the room, so
You know, I think if you
Good
used coffee filters, it would actually look cooler.
Yeah.
Because there would be like a sort of gradient stain, dark at the bottom of the filter, and then lighter as it went out.
That's true. You could just dry a few of them, and then you could do it.
yeah. This is my little menagerie of like weird stuff I like.
Some.
I'm
I'm so
Yeah.
happy
what are
we're
those-
getting the tour.
What are those cat things called?
Those are Menenki Neko. I really like them. They bring good luck.
I've heard that.
You have a
They're like
shitload,
I
so you
think
must
they just
be.
mean Hello Cat. They're the inspiration for Hello Kitty. And I love this little pig. And
Is he
behind it
jiggling?
is a picture of my dad. My dad when he was little.
Huh. Looking
There's a
sharp.
CD that I made. A
There we
CD
go.
that I made. Well, I didn't make the
Heard
CD.
one.
I just did her. Somebody gave me this Pickup and Come-Ons. I'll read one for you guys.
Oh yeah, let's crack that open.
Yeah, you gotta crack it open. Okay. So one of the things is
Hold
like
on,
if
let me
you're
get
at
my
yoga-
notepad.
Okay.
All right, ready.
Or actually, if you're at a wedding, you could say, "I'd buy you a drink, but they're free." That's
That's terrible.
Wow. Hey, I buy you
I know.
a drink, but they're free. Something like that.
you
What's
know,
another
it had some. If you're at the grocery store, you can say, "You better get out of that express lane, 'cause you're all that in a bag of chips."
Wow.
This is bad.
They might be like, "Hey, are you okay, sir? Because that line was real bad."
Or like, you should get out of the frozen food section because you could melt all this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. That one was better than the chips one. Okay, give us
There's
one
a
more.
It's gotta be like a melons one, you know, like
Yeah.
in the fruit
Hey,
section.
your melons are huge.
Nice
you
melons. That's like a naked gun thing. Nice melons.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Oh, this is what you say to the maintenance person to pick them up. I feel so close to you now that you plunged my toilet. My-
Okay.
Are they all
My
like
thing-
context dependent? Like you say this at a
Well,
at
if
a
you
wedding?
read the whole book, you'll probably get enough contexts to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Thank you.
You know, they have like, "Would you nail me?" My hinge could use a little grease. There's one for geeks. You turn my software into hardware.
Very problematic in today's political climate.
Yeah.
Your graphics rival Doom 3.
Whoa.
I don't even know.
Obscure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
like
mean-
weird.
I know Doom.
Yeah.
But your graphics, like,
Graphics rival Doom 3.
Yeah. So there's
Weird.
there's different
I-
chapters. There's all about you. Flattery will get you everywhere. All about me, when you're obviously God's gift. Context specific. That's another chapter.
Okay.
People specific. And famous flirtations when wits try to mate. So I didn't memorize the whole book, but you know. Oh yeah, how does if you're
Seems
a
like
therapist, you can say enough about me. What is it that relaxes you?
That's terrible.
Kind of
They're
really
pretty
fun.
bad.
That's like basically a crime. I
I
think.
feel like Final Corp should have a book like this.
I think Final Corp definitely could have a book like this. I think that's pretty bad. Oh, here's my marbles. Some of my marble collection. I have a marble collection.
Nice.
You have a couple of those Maninki Nokos,
I know. I like them.
and
I like
you have the Luck of the Irish. So you got like excess luck.
I got tons of
It might be
yeah,
like
tons
it
of
might be at
luck.
100%.
This is my grandfather's lunch pail.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Is
Pretty
it
cool.
is lunch still in there?
Dan O'Connor.
Dan?
There's no lunch in it.
Have you ever used
Yeah.
it for like a picnic?
No, my dad just gave it to me recently, and I was just thinking I should really use it. I haven't used it yet.
Use
This
it as
is
a
my sink.
porta potty.
That'd be rude.
That would be rude, Aubrey.
What is that? Oh,
This is my Saint Clair. She's the patron saint of television. So let's put her in front of the TV.
What?
Saint Clair is the patron saint of television.
That's meta right now.
Yeah. And she glows in the dark, but it's not dark. But yeah, she got too sick to go to mass, and she never missed mass. And she saw it in an image of the mass on the wall while she was dying. So that is why she's the patron saint of television.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
oh, there we go. Nice.
There she
Nice
is,
focus.
Saint Clair.
Very cool.
And there's my
Loving,
intro.
loving the tour.
Wow. We're
Yeah.
really getting an in-depth tour.
Nag Champa.
Yeah, this is like my crap, my like panty liners, my necklaces,
Probably don't need that much.
my bowl. Sorry about that.
I like the
Well, that's the tour of my world.
Okay, well,
Oh my,
I so appreciate your thoroughness and your availability and your friendship.
alrighty. And I will let you guys get back to your podcast.
All right.
Thanks
see
for
you
having
later.
me.
Bye.
Bye.
So, I bore violence on this bag. I recently was able to exchange biomechanical life credits, otherwise known as American Legal Tender, aka currency, aka cash
USD.
money, to trade for somebody to bring some cannabis in a vehicle, a car, to in front of my house, where we then exchanged this currency for the cannabis. And it arrived in this new type of bag. I haven't seen this bag before, and I tried for a while. Now, the thing is, I just cut the fucking bag with scissors because I couldn't figure it out. I was like,
It's good.
what's, I was looking at this, and it says, here, I'll show you. It says, like, fucking
It's like very
Pinch.
vaginal.
It's extremely vaginal. It says pinch. I'm like, what the fuck does pinch mean? There's little arrows pointing inward, and then it goes, press. And I'm like, okay, like pinch. Boy, okay, it's a pinch. I don't get it. Press, sure, no. Pull, damn. And then open. It's all super vaginal. And I just cut it, because
Yeah.
I just totally couldn't figure that out at
Yeah,
all.
that's the new. They have this various styles of childproofing.
So, Aubrey,
That one's like a new one.
ignore
newest
the
one.
hole. Ignore this cut and see if you could open this fucking bag.
Yeah. All right.
Here we go.
Pinch.
You literally, I'm going to start a timer.
Pinch and press, huh? Well, it's already open. That's the hard thing, getting it back to unopened. Oh, it's happened a few times.
Here's the thing. It's like, yeah, it's open.
I've had this experience, but it's a different type.
But, yeah, go like this and try to open this thing. And while you do that, we're going
Pinch.
to go ahead and experience the.
Oh, yeah, this is not even like
Gelato
didn't even bother.
45.
this one. You didn't. You just cut. You didn't even try to pinch and open this one. You just cut it.
Yeah,
'Cause
that one
this
I
is
worked
not
on.
even
I worked on that one a little bit, and I was like wrenching and
like it's not
wrenching.
even separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
So, here, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the point where it's pinchable. Because wasn't there a
No.
no?
So just work on that end. Yeah.
The fuck, man. Seems like broken. Right? So we just go like that.
That tastes good.
And then it's like, okay, that doesn't work. So I gotta pinch and put, what is it? Pinch and press.
Yeah, follow the instructions and tell me
Pinch,
which one
press,
you're
pull.
doing when you're doing it.
So pinch. Press. The press has arrows coming out, so it's like actually pull. Yeah, so that's what you gotta do. You gotta like. This is the pinch. This is the pull.
Yeah,
But I mean, this,
maybe.
they all
Maybe. Okay.
It could just be,
Now
could
here,
could be
Gelato 45.
lucky. But these all look the same. That's the funny thing. They're all like slightly different. It's like the worst angle to
yeah.
educate you.
Oh my god.
If they had a 3/4 view, like from here, then you could see, oh, in 3D, oh, that's where he's pinching, that's where he's pulling. But instead they have this stupid top-down.
So that was impossible.
Top down.
I totally failed and I hit the scissors on that one. Like,
Yeah.
nope. I'm not a baby, but it totally stopped me.
Yeah.
If I was
I've
like,
had that
in the
experience
woods and couldn't have a knife, I would be fucking in trouble. I'd be throwing it at rocks and shit. I'd be hitting it with rocks. I could lay a rock down and put a little edge of the thing over the rock, and I hit another rock over on top of that one to open it. That's what I would do.
It's like those sealed, like fully sealed plastic. Like you buy like a screwdriver or something, and it's in sealed plastic, and you just have to have scissors.
That's like
to open it.
screwdrivers at a gas station.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that's what you get with those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Screwdrivers at the gas station have the vacuum seal. Fresh meat from a rancher also will have that.
Oh, you're talking about the vacuum seal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see what the science. What the science
let's
have.
topic
Quick
it up.
science.
Topics.
Awesome photos.
Cool. You want to show
The
'em?
Geminid meteor shower. I'm just reading some science.
Science
headlines
us
here.
up, please.
NASA's Juno spacecraft took some pictures of Jupiter. I think that mission might be over, but anyway. They sent a thing to check out Jupiter, and then at the end of its mission, it self-terminated by nosediving into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And they figured that's okay because there's no solid surface on Jupiter, so it's just going to disintegrate.
It's not
So-
exactly
but
trash.
but they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't necessarily do that on like Mars. Or something.
Yeah, they don't want to leave
So
garbage.
you don't want to be littering, even though there is a lot of space junk out there. They track it
Yeah.
all. They track all the little bits of space junk over like a centimeter long,
Really?
centimeter big. Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's like shells, concentric shells of shit. So like, you have just various things, like little bits of the space shuttle that fell off, or the ISS. And then you have like satellites, and then other satellites at higher levels, and then more junk. So there's like these shells of floating orbital shit.
I see that as the a precursor to warp drive, though. That seems like if I was a Vulcan driving by,
Right.
and I were to see that particulate in the sky, I'd be like, okay, well, they're on their way.
Something's happening.
That's a precursor.
Something's happening down there. Elon Musk beat a world record for rocket launches in 2018.
He did 28, was it? Or
I don't know, is that the number?
do you have the
Great,
number?
I don't have the number.
He landed. Maybe it was 20, maybe it was 36. I could look it up, but he landed that many times too.
And there was that fucked up landing, but it was a perfect test of the backup landing.
I didn't know about that. No.
It failed to land. I think it failed to land on the platform at sea. And immediately when it realized it was failing the landing, it went into backup landing mode, which is where it just floats. So like, and that's good engineering. You have multiple failure modes. It doesn't just, oh, you didn't land, it's iced. It's there's multiple ways for it to recover. So that was pretty awesome too. I think that was Elon Musk.
Cool.
There was another satellite. Somebody sent up another satellite recently. It's very encouraging. Just private citizens getting in the space game.
Yeah,
It's
I
awesome.
think that's a really good good idea. I almost want to how can I work in the field? I have no formal
Right.
education, so
SpaceX. Work at their.
I'd be a salesman.
Yeah.
What do they sell? Like shares? I could sell shares of the company. That's what I could do.
You'd be like operations manager.
Yeah. Also, if they need any animals on site, I can
There we go.
help with the animals.
Sustainable agriculture.
Yeah, I could do that. I could be like the Mars. I could help with the animal husbandry on Mars. Is
Mm.
what I could do. I'm thinking chickens, goats, and fish. That's what I'm thinking. Just go with those three. You can go a really long distance. I'd say
In terms of
simplicity,
fauna.
food, farming, and nutrition absorption from their waste.
fish, chicken,
Goats
goats.
or land, either one. Breeding stock. Do
So
it
no
old school.
rabbits. We should have chicken burgers.
Rabbits, you know what? Maybe rabbits could replace goats to keep all of the animals small. So it's like rabbits, chickens, and fish. The thing is, there's rabbit death, which is if you were to only eat rabbit, you would die because there's not enough fat on rabbit. Unless you take a few changes to their diet and lifestyle, and then you can increase the fat level. And humans are very adaptable. You know what I'm saying? But that's just that's how I can help the Mars mission. So how can you help the Mars mission?
I don't know. I was thinking you would need like your computers and your networks. Someone
There's
yelling.
yelling. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear me yelling.
Your networks and your computers would have to survive hostile environments. Probably more hostile than any environment on Earth.
Yeah.
If you need like computers in space, and I'm sure people already know about that stuff more than I do, but that could be one way. Figuring out how to have networks in place and hardware functioning in like super hostile environments.
Will there be wires on Mars? Will it all be wireless Bluetooth?
The thing about wires is you can transmit data so reliably.
Yeah, but you have to carry the wire to Mars.
You have to put in the work put in the amount of work up front that the wire saves you in work down the line.
So
And part
by
of that is
by
the weight of the wire.
The weight of the wire
Yeah.
being carried to Mars. So it's like by that measure, then you still believe that wires are better than the
It
alternative.
depends on the circumstance.
But just look around this room. I mean, the amount of wires on the walls and just
Everywhere.
it's a madhouse.
Everywhere.
Yeah. You want to say hi? Love you too. You sure you don't want to come say hi? Come on. All right.
Yeah, wires everywhere. It's insane.
Yeah. 1,000 wires.
But then that's why we never have technical problems because we have so many wires.
Yeah. So then maybe you'd be like a wiresmith on Mars because you deal with wires.
Wire wrangler.
Yeah. Like lasso and like hanging them places and
Like-
unplugging them and plugging them back in
Like throwing it into the input.
like a dart.
Yeah, maybe. It would be cool to somehow contribute to the colonizing space,
Yeah. Yeah.
but there's like some drama going on up there.
Yeah. We hear like we're being.
I'm not sure if you guys can hear that out there in radio land.
Yeah. There's a little bit of pounding and yelling. This has been a more common theme with the upstairs neighbor. That's like the video I had of the cute baby. You could sort of hear some yelling. It's like juxtaposed video of cute baby and neighbor yelling. But I know what a man in pain sounds like. I know what that sounds like, and he's a man in pain.
Yeah.
Where the cause is from, hard to say. He's definitely in pain. And I hope to get him on the show, actually.
Oh, good.
I'd like to.
Maybe we can
Yeah.
learn something.
Maybe we can all learn something. And he agreed to come on the show. We'll have to set that up.
We could just put the mic up against the ceiling.
Yeah, but he would know he's on the show, though, at that
Yeah,
point.
no, I know.
All right.
Yeah. Well, any other science topics here?
No, not another science one.
Supernova likely killed off ancient mega shark.
Likely. Because they test like
Sounds like science
4
fiction.
rats or something like that.
Huge, previously undetected coral reef off U.S. East Coast.
Huh. Is it full
It's
of
weird how
life?
reality just keeps serving that kind of stuff up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, cancer's cured. But then there's there's this other fucked up disease, or polio's cured. Then there's AIDS. But then it also works the other way around. Something shitty is discovered. Oh my God, we're losing coral reefs across the earth. Hey, guess what? We just discovered a new coral reef. Oh. Or that huge mine of precious metals that they found recently in like Japan or something. Just Japan suddenly was like, oh fuck, suddenly we have tons of metals that we used to have to import. We just discovered them.
The reef off of the East Coast, how
Weird.
long is it?
Let's see. Cannot open the page. Your iPad is not connected to the internet.
Huh, cool.
It's weird that they would have that as a web page.
Yeah, it's a lame webpage.
Let's see. Huge forest of cold water corals off the coast of South Carolina. There's so much story. 85 miles?
85 miles long of coral?
That's not right. It's hard to
Maybe-
find the numbers
Yeah, maybe it's 85 miles off the coast of North Carolina.
because it's like an article that's like a narrative story, you know.
You know that North Carolina has some of the same Mediterranean coastal vibe that like the mid-peninsula of the Bay Area of California has?
The coast.
Because it has some like coastal, warm weather year-round, a little bit of rain kind of stuff.
Is that the? I've been hearing good things about that state.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff. Basically, it would probably be cool to live a lifetime in each of these 50 states. If you could live a lifetime in each one, that would probably be very worth it.
Imagine that.
Imagine you're 54 years, say, or lifetime. Let's say 55 years in each state. So like you're in Nebraska. It's like fucking awesome. You like meet all these
Would
people.
it be all the same time period, or would it
No,
be throughout
you're moving
history?
through time at normal speeds.
Oklahoma,
Mhm.
and you're
Texas.
an Indian,
Sure. I mean, maybe you can start whenever you want in this scenario.
but
I'm saying like
I hear what you're saying.
we live something like 100,000 years or something like that, and you spend like 55 years in each state,
Right.
and then maybe some other countries, you know,
Hmm.
but all in linear time or something. So say
That would be
starting
like
now,
an achievement of future humans who are immortal. They would
You
come
think
up
so?
with weird achievements to have.
if that would be a cool if humans had that ability to like you know get married, raise a family, start something, have a whole grandparents, and then die, but not, and then you move like some other random state unless you go to Hawaii, and then like you're born there, and then you have this whole life where you think but you get the drugs, but then you don't, and then
You wake up in Hawaii. You're born in Hawaii, and you're like, ah, nice. This is the Hawaii timeline.
yeah,
Sweet.
yes. And then you get to the Delaware, and you're like, fuck. There's literally nothing. Like, that's the only one that sucks. Everyone's like, what the
It's
fuck?
an Alaska life. It's my Alaska lifetime.
Dude, Alaska would be awesome. It's really pretty and suckily cold. I think I would, if I was stuck up there, say I was like born up there, I probably would have tried the fishing stuff. The high dollar, high danger.
Huge fishing hooks and just like you work for
I would have done
3
that
months
instead
straight,
of flight attendant.
12-hour days,
Oh yeah.
and then you come home and you just have tons of cash and
Yep.
like 6 months off.
That's probably what I would have done.
Just the hyper mode.
That's what I would do in my Alaska lifetime. I would probably be like a big boat fisher person. Because you'd want to have a like community supporting task, even if there wasn't even money. I'd still
Right.
want to like, I could still. This probably wouldn't be what I would pick, but I would still like go take care of people's pools. Because if it was nothing
rich
else,
Alaskans.
if it was nothing else, so that I would be spending time contributing to the community.
Mm.
So that would be cool.
That's cool. Cool alternate life.
Yeah.
So yeah, exploring. I mean, we're exploring Jupiter. That probe just landed on Mars. We're like branching out more.
Yeah.
Seems like each week, every day, there's a new. Oh yeah, did you remember about this probe that we sent here? This is the new picture.
So the probe that's on Mars, is it drilling down?
Yeah, I think it's there to study Mars quakes.
How long does it take to get there?
Mars quakes and I'm not sure, 5 months, 8 months.
Is that equivalent to like the first
Could be a couple of years, actually.
Pacific Ocean crossing or something like that? If
Well,
you're on
we've
a
sent,
drift
we've
boat?
sent, we've already sent a few things to Mars.
Yeah. Like
But
the time scale
yes.
is like say 5 months, is it like the drift boat
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
time that
Probably.
whoever took, which basically that's the metaphor, is like this
That's the
ship
metaphor.
is the drift boat to
Yeah.
Mars.
Twice the length of the Pacific, though, even further. Then you end up in Mars. And I think it's gonna InSight. It's gonna drill on Mars and study the internals of the planet.
That's cool. We need that, right? Because we're colonizing.
Then they'll
Sounds
figure
like.
out, this is what the inside the planet looks like. From that, we can determine all kinds of, we can derive all kinds of truths about how Mars was formed and stuff.
Does it help us plan our, what do they call that? Helioculture? No. Terraform.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I mean, imagine on Mars it'll be geodesic domes that we partially terraform the inside of, and then kind of go outward from there.
Yeah. Send robots there first that are just like doing some of the terraform work,
Yeah.
even if they're just built. And this, again, this is probably what Elon Musk, his vision strategy is. You send the boring company to Mars, dig a bunch of holes and create bricks out of the dirt. Use those bricks to create structures. Bricks. They could be rods or something. Just some kind of building material out of the dirt, and then you're sending robots to Mars, and they're already doing tons of work before the first human gets there. Once the first human arrives, he walks in, fresh thing of mayonnaise on the counter.
It's piping hot mayo.
3-ply toilet paper in the bathroom.
Yeah, they have like fully flush toilets for some wasteful ass reason.
Padded toilet seat, warmed.
Bidet.
Our trip to the first man on Mars
The
walks
robots-
into this
yeah.
luxurious fucking apartment.
Oh, that's funny. Well, the yelling's really picking up upstairs.
up.
I think they're doing
we need
another
like a
podcast.
meter. We need a meter.
I think like they're having another podcast. It's called like the podcast for yelling and disagreements.
Competing podcast.
Hey, no. Empathy and imagination.
No, entropy and disintegration.
Yeah, he's been on a tear for a while. Man in pain. Fuck. All right, Mars, man.
Yeah, space exploration just keeps getting better. It seems like
it's working. It sounds like.
we need like 100 more Elon Musks.
Well, you and I are
Nerdy-
Elon Musks, man.
Yeah, like nerdy, wealthy,
Entrepreneurs.
almost like FU money.
Yeah.
Space colonist people.
Yeah. Well, Dan Bilzerian could be that.
There you go.
He could be a space colonizer, but he's gonna
Maybe he'll
just
get over the
fuck
whole.
chicks and smoke weed,
Maybe
which
he'll
is
get over
cool.
Yeah.
But even he said in an interview, like, it's getting old, And I maybe he'll go to space too, because that'd be cool.
Yeah, just like what's the next like hip thing to spend my money on? That's a thing that I want to initiate. It's just the idea that it's like it's way cooler in terms of social cred to get rich and help everybody than it is to have fancy things. And that's like, I think we can get there. We're definitely have the possibility to get there. And even if it was like 10% of people that thought that way, I guess it already is like that to a certain extent, because you have Bill Gates doing amazing shit, Elon Musk, and there probably are 100 other people that are doing stuff like that we don't even know their names because they're not celebrities.
Emilio Estevez, I think.
Is he? Yeah, that's my science review.
Well, you know what? I think it might be our episode.
That was a good one.
Unless you got something else for us. You got any plugs you're thinking about? What are you plugging?
Plugging the Sausalito show that's coming Thursday, December 20th, at Piano Fight in San Francisco on Taylor Street. Piano Fight.
You want to talk about your company for a second?
Company is Final Corp?
Well, your other company.
Well, if you have technology needs that you find are going unmet, I'm your guy. If you need wires wrangled or problem solved with your technology, give us a call. Give us a ring. Shoot us an email. Zeist.net. ZICED.net. Zeist Digital. It'll be fun.
Also, I'm going to go ahead and plug my company, Clark Pool and Spa. Think about it. If you're in the Contra Costa County and you're like, man, I have a pool, spa, hot tub, pond, infinity river, lake, and I need some help with my body of water. Maybe it's even a large fish tank. Think, ooh, it's leaky or pumps or, I don't know, chemicals. ClarkPoolSpa.com. We can totally help you out. All right. Can we sing us out here? I think it'd be cool if we sang us out or even rocked out. There's like a bass and drums or something. I don't know.
Do we have it? Let's see. Do 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 do.
Do 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 dun dun dun.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, folks, if you want to call us, check it out. 510-859-4173. If you have a suggested product for Final Corp or a question for either Aubrey or myself, go ahead and call 510-859-4173. Leave a voicemail. You can go on our Facebook page. Yo, I'm trying to end the show. That's what you gotta know. We got a lot of wires, ho. Check out my wires. You could call us triers. We're trying to buy these wires to put out these fires. Oh, running my business. Unplugging and plugging in wires. I invented a new cell phone that you could break with pliers.